Morning. It's Friday, April 1st. That's April Fool's Day. And this is a day for jokes and hoaxes and tricks that you play on your friends or maybe your so-called friends. And I only remember one that I was involved in. And it was in the 8th grade. And what we did was we put a thumbtack on the teacher's seat before the class started. And she came in and she sat down and the class was ready to sort of yell, April Fool's Day. That's what you're supposed to yell. But she never moved. She sat through the whole class and she continued teaching. And everybody in the class was mystified, absolutely mystified, because we had put the thumbtack on the seat. And we wondered, maybe, this lady was just a tough ass or something. But in any event, the class ended and she got up and she proceeded out of the room and the thumbtack was stuck in her girdle and she never felt it. And so when I'm remembering this story, I'm thinking, how many women wear girdles now? It's impossible for a woman to wear a girdle these days because they're all wearing tights. So I think the girdle might be a piece of apparel that is gone. It has disappeared from our life. And I don't know if you agree with me or not, but the next time you see a pretty woman walking down the street, take a look. See if she's wearing a girdle. She's probably not. She's got these tights on. And those tights, I have to say, they expose the lady's derriere. And that's all I want to say about this. And I want to talk about something else that's happened on this April Fool's Day. It's Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is back in the news because the FBI is investigating what he did in China with the Chinese Energy Corporation, which is a company that supposedly has links to the Chinese government. And I'm not sure whether they're owned by the Chinese government or whether they're just heavily affiliated with the Chinese government. Either way, the fact that the president's son is being investigated by the FBI is a serious, serious situation. It sheds a dark cloud over the presidency. This is not a new investigation. This investigation was launched in 2018. As a matter of fact, when it was launched, it cast a cloud over his father's presidential run. Now, it's not clear which entities might be tied up in this investigation, because Hunter has a history of international affairs and business dealings in a number of countries. He was involved in something in the Ukraine, but this one basically is about an energy company in China. And this puts a spotlight on the questions about his financial dealings that really infected his father's bid for the White House. The investigation is still going on and it started in 2018. So on Tuesday, a round of subpoenas was served, and they included Hunter Biden in those round of subpoenas. This is a tax investigation and it centers on his business dealings. It's interesting to note that the Justice Department did not investigate Hunter during the period prior to the election because they have a policy that prohibits them from investigating anybody that would be involved with the candidate at that point in time because they don't want to be accused of screwing up the election. And I think that's the right thing to do, because if that wasn't the case, who knows what would happen in this country when they would pick on somebody who's related to a candidate on a trumped-up charge or something like that. So the Justice Department has this policy. No investigation or no reports on an investigation during any election period. And I'm glad to see that we're investigating now, because this proves to me, in spite of what many people think, that Hunter was being protected by his father, proves to me that that's not true. That this country is going to do what's right no matter who's involved. So this is a very unusual situation. But I commend the Justice Department, and I hope that those people who have felt that Hunter did something wrong and that he was being protected by his father see that that is not the case right now. Now, Hunter is known to have used drugs. In fact, he joined the Naval Reserve, but he got discharged because he was testing positive for cocaine in his system. So Hunter has done several things that have been unsavory, so to speak. And over the years, Hunter has been accused of taking advantage of his father's position in the world. In 2014, he joined a Ukrainian energy company, Burisma, as an advisor, and he has denied using his father's influence to aid Burisma. But Republicans have questioned whether his highly paid job created a conflict of interest for Joe Biden as the former vice president. And since, the vice president is deeply involved in U.S. policy toward Ukraine, I could understand that. And maybe he shouldn't have taken the job. But I don't know that anybody ever proved anything that this entire thing with the Ukraine was out of whack, And maybe this guy, maybe Hunter, has found his life's work in dealing with foreign companies profitable. Obviously, it's been profitable, but that's where he found a niche. Many people do that. They work and they find a niche for themselves, and they continue doing that. So now he's involved with a Chinese energy company, and now he's under investigation for it because of his involvement with that particular company. But it's not like he hasn't been involved in energy companies that are foreign companies before. It's not like he switched all of a sudden in his lifestyle. And so we'll have to see what happens in this investigation. And President Biden, his father, said he doesn't discuss his son's business dealings with him and has denied ever taking money from a foreign company or a foreign country. So that's where it stands right now, and they'll investigate, and hopefully we'll get some honest answers, and everybody will be satisfied. This investigation is primarily an investigation on the taxes that Hunter Biden has filed over the years. And obviously, they probably feel that he should have paid more taxes, otherwise, why in the world would they be investigating his taxes? So maybe it's an income tax evasion case, and not anything more serious than that. Although that is serious enough. And Joe Biden has said that he doesn't really know what his son and his brothers have been doing, and he hopes that the investigation turns out in their favor, I guess. He said, my son and my family will not be involved in any business, any enterprise that is in conflict or appears to be in conflict with the presidency and the government of the United States. And we have to let it go with that and see what happens in this investigation. So that's as much as I know. I'll see you in the morning. Bye.